The Texans have hit rock bottom. Fire Nick Caley. Sound the alarms. I mean, the Monday Night Football game against Seahawks. Just taking the night to decompress, I don't understand. I don't have words. The defense gets 4 turnovers. Most teams win when they're +4 in the turnover margin, or +3 even when CJ Stroud threw that pick. But man, I'm just still trying to gather my thoughts after this loss because there was so much that went wrong, and we have so much to talk about on Texans Digest. Yes, some people who are on the East Coast. 27-19, if you look at the box score, it looks like, maybe the Texans didn't do too bad. But if you watched the game and you're a Texans fan, you need to know that this game was embarrassing. The fact that the Texans were in this game is terrible. Will Anderson single-handedly willed the Texans back. The defense played unbelievable. But then you just can't score offensively, and that has to do with Nick Caley. I'm sorry, you got to get him off the team. I didn't think last year it would get worse with Bobby Slowick, and now you have off of a bye week, by the way. You just breeze by, you pretend that, just because you played the Titans and the Ravens, we could just come in after the bye. That was my biggest fear, was that the offense was going to come out flat, and it did. But the fact that it was 14-0, you start off a little slow, 14-6, you get your offense back into it, block a field goal, get an interception off Cooper Kupp, great. Going in the second half, you're fine. Stroud throws a pick. Okay, it happens. It was 20-12 after the strip sack from Will Anderson. And this is what happened on the drive after the fact. And it is ridiculous.
Marks again off the left side. Nothing. Goes backwards again.
Absolutely ridiculous. I don't know what that play call is, but you cannot run it up the middle twice. Once, okay. But that was all Nick Caley's solution was to 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, 4th, and an inch yard. We'll get to the goal line in a second, but 3rd and 1. Does the quarterback sneak not exist? Let's be honest here. What are we doing? Just off of tonight, Nick Caley needs to stay in Seattle. I mean, please, let me know your thoughts. I mean, this is a Texans team that with this defense, if they had the right offense, they don't even have to be great at offense. If they had the offense that they had last year, middle of the pack, score 20 points a game, you can go win a Super Bowl. This defense looks better than it was last year. But the fact of the matter is, your 6'3", 220-pound quarterback can't sneak it up the middle. What? This isn't Patrick Mahomes we're talking about, where he's got a dislocated knee if he goes under center. Even put Dalton Schultz under center and just push him forward, or have Schultz come. Have you watched no football of the Eagles, of literally the Seahawks running the tush push earlier in the game? It's like that is the easiest way to get a first down. Push your quarterback forward. That's it. Those two plays were unbelievable. And then the goal line situation, for how they managed that was even more embarrassing, because on 1st and goal, you run it. You get to the 1-yard line, and then you pass it twice on 2nd and 3rd down. And then on 4th and goal, you tried the same run play that you did on 3rd and 4th and 1 from the drive earlier in the game that I just showed. So it's just a matter of certainty. I would honestly argue common sense. I'm sorry, but if you watch enough football and you know enough football, you know situational football. You don't run it up the middle, the straight middle. I could have seen if it was a counter right, a power. On 4th and goal from the 1, at least they put in a fullback, but that doesn't do anything. Watching this team just reminds me of the bootlegs on the Rams. And, the Rams offense is good, but when all you're running is bootlegs and you're under center for most of the game, it is ridiculous. I don't know what to do anymore. Do you fire Nick Caley right now? Do you go back to Bobby Slowick? Do you just, scrap the season and start trading guys like Danielle Hunter and just, what do you do here? I'm at a loss for words as well. I think Texans Jacob on X put it perfectly. This team is, as the standard of outside will, the defense has been unbelievable. The fact of the matter is the Texans should be at least 3-3, and now they're 2-4 after the bye. You were looking really good going into the bye. I was so excited for the bye, and then all of a sudden, Nick Caley, you could blame it on C.J. Stroud. He was roaming outside the pocket. He wasn't doing incredibly great things. However, it's not on Stroud. When he has nobody open, they can't scheme any receivers open. Braxton Berrios is playing more than Jalen Noel and Jaden Higgins. Why did you draft them if you're not going to use them? So I was really fired up last night. I don't think you wanted to hear me like go crazy about this game last night, but oh my gosh, I technically live in Eastern Standard Time, so I was up till 3 a.m. watching this game, and it was ridiculous because it was so annoying to literally watching that game, knowing you should have won, cannot sleep. Just can't. You can't do it because how are you supposed to? I can't. I don't have any words. This is just so frustrating for the Texans. C.J. Stroud was asked about the inequity on offense, and I feel like this comment kind of sums it up, if you will.
I just mentioned that he felt like the offense was kind of complacent to start and couldn't really pick up energy. Do you kind of agree with that statement? And if so, why do you guys kind of agree with that statement?
I don't know what he meant by complacent, but I think the type of offense we're running is like I told y'all, death by 1,000 cuts, and sometimes when you live by that sport, it's hard because you're not taking a bunch of deep downfield shots, but you're asked to be really good on first, second down time and time again, and something that we just got to get better at. It's still new to a lot of us, but I definitely think we can be better at that, and that'll definitely help.
If your quarterback is referring to the offense with death by 1,000 cuts, there is a serious problem. And it needs to be, I think C.J. Stroud needs to actually take, I wouldn't say ownership or accountability. I feel like he's done that. He's been the leader. But he needs to take some confidence in himself to be like, okay, let me check more at the line of scrimmage. Because they gave him that freedom. They even made reports about it in the offseason. If you're going to be able to talk and communicate with your offensive coordinator, you need to be able to say, no, that play is terrible. You need to be able to call him out on that behavior. And I'm actually a little bit questioned if C.J. Stroud has that kind of factor to where he doesn't really want to tell people what to do. And that's the thing, is you see Aaron Rodgers animated on the sideline. I mean, his left tackle tackled him to the ground after they tied the touchdown in the Bengals game, but you saw him get up. He was fired up. He's like, why the hell did you do that? So it's just certain things like that. Stroud has firepower, don't get me wrong, but I feel like that emotion of, what are we doing? Like he shows it on the field certain times, but I feel like it could be more. He could go a little further. Like when it was 27-19 and the Texans could have gotten the ball back. I think it was after the 4th and goal stand, right? So they 4th and goal, they turned it over. Stroud literally looked like he gave up on the sideline. His head was down. He was like shaking his head, and he was just disgusted. It's like, okay, short-term memory. Pick it up next play. Figure it out. Let's move. Let's go win this game. Like, I don't know. I like that defeated mentality you cannot have. You need to be able to pick your team up. You need to be able to rally the troops. Like, okay, let's go. And then the pick to start the second half didn't help, but it's just like, looking at everything in retrospect, it has to be what it's going to be. So, I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. I mean, I feel like you got to fire Nick Caley at this point. I mean, is DeMeco Ryan's job in jeopardy? I personally don't think so, but a lot of people are getting annoyed with how he's kind of managing this whole situation. Like, the offense is very bad. It's a problem. And the defense is playing at an all-pro caliber level. This is an all-time great defense, and you're just wasting their talent. So thank you guys so much for watching. That's all I got for you. I would go a little deeper, but this is just basically everything on the surface. So maybe Mike McDaniel comes to Houston. I don't really know what to do here. This is not a playoff team. The season is over. This win shows me everything I need to know, and it would have been different if it would have been, a really close, like a really good offensive battle fought, and you just lose in a heartbreak. That wasn't the case here. The offense, again, it's the same story every week. First week, offense doesn't show up. Second week, offense doesn't show up. Third week, I mean, it's just like a snowball effect. I don't know. Very disappointed, very frustrated, very agitated. I was really fired up after the game, but man, that's the Texans for you. Am I shocked? No? Let me know your thoughts. Thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's Mike Zanetti, Texans Digest, and we'll see you in the next video.